Okay, so season 2 of The Walking Dead has finally come to a close. And last episode ended with the herd coming towards the farm. So to begin with, letting you know where the herd came from. The herd initially was essentially in Atlanta. And it followed that helicopter from a couple episodes ago. And then just kept on walking. And walking and walking and walked till it came upon when Carl shot zombie Shane. So the opening is essentially the massive siege of zombies on the farm, and the group just getting ridiculously splintered. You end up having them split up into 4 smaller groups. And I was thinking, oh, okay, with the four smaller groups, they'll show them meeting up, more towards the beginning of season 3. No, they slowly all begin to meet each other. Except for 3 people. Patricia, Andrea, and Jimmy. 2 of them are dead. One of them is essentially fighting her way through the forest. So they all meet up and drive till they run out of gas. And then they decide to kind of hold up in a little spot next to a small waterfall. And that's then when Rick slowly tells everybody, yeah, here's what happened with Shane. Oh, and the whole if you die, you become a walker. Yeah, I learned that out from the CDC, which would have been towards the end of season 1. And it was everyone's infected with this virus, and essentially when you die, you come back as a zombie. It was mentioned in the comics too, and it was given like that much explanation really, really early on. It's like, well, if you die now, you become a zombie. So it makes it a much easier way to discover you have this many zombies, since currently when the zombies bite people, they're just gnawing them. They're not really biting them, they're turning them. They're pretty much biting them and then fully devouring them. So when he reveals that there's some slight questions of his leadership, and then Rick finally channels his inner Shane. It's kind of like, look, if you think you can live, go ahead. Go out there. Go do it. And of course he's pointing with a gun the whole time, which just really makes him seem that much more credible the whole time. And only she's like, fine, you're all here, guess what? This is no longer a democracy. And then they pan back up and they show in the distance a place with, lights flickering. It's hard to tell if it's the jail or if it's where the governor is going to be at, or if the governor is running the jail. Kind of hard to tell from that slight thing. So ending it that way, it was okay, but kind of went out with a whimper. Showing that just in the distance is a place where they're going to spend most of the next season was pretty solid. Now, there's one character when I read some of the first comics that I was totally looking forward to for them to bring this character into live action. And they do. In the comics, there's this black woman who I think she was like a lawyer who had fencing lessons. In the comic, when you first see her, she had a couple of thralls that are zombies that she just keeps chained up. And she uses a samurai sword. She appears in this episode. And if they take the route they did in the comics with her and the governor, it's going to be like hostile rough in season 3. So ironically, beyond the giant zombie mob in the beginning, like the combat of the herd siege, the middle was kind of, it felt like it was building into something really big. And beyond Rick essentially becoming the new Shane and showing the place in the distance, the real high point was showing, of course, the samurai woman. Because I'll be honest, in a world run by zombies, a chick wielding the sword is probably going to have one of your best bets for survival. So all in all, not a bad season. With season 1, it had this nice, good, steady climb, but season 2 has just kind of been. It takes most of it's really good, and then it kind of just. I think it's pretty good again. That's kind of. So this one ends, the beginning, lots of action, and they go into some of the drama. The drama kind of peters out because, they killed off some of the minor characters, but there's still a couple more they could have gotten rid of that really don't seem to be adding anything to the cast or to the overall story. But then the revelation of, a new, awesome, tough female character who's actually going to do things beyond scream where her son is at and just kind of stand there and not really do anything. So it'd be good to have there actually be, at least 2 women in this series that are actually going to get their hands dirty a lot.